Okay, number 9, general notes are in the border in the title block background. If I can come over here and grab this text and move it, I know it's not in the border. So you got to make sure when you're doing that border text and general notes, you got to do the edit background, go where it's gray, and then put the text in. And then right click, edit sheet background to leave that. Titles under each view. These title blocks should be centered under each one of these views. I'll be watching for the heights and center justification and your leaders depending on the videos you've watched. I've given tips. Whatever constraints you have in your sketch to make this part is going to be the same dimensions you need on your drawing. So the advantage of doing a fully constrained profile is that all those dimensions need to be duplicated from the constraints on the drawing here. So you'll have something that identifies this radius in the sketch or in the solid somewhere. You'll have identified the size of the hole and if it went through or not, periphery of the part. So all those dimensions or constraints must appear as dimensions. You're going to have that flag note identifying which datums were the extra ones that you didn't actually need to put on the drawing. You're just identifying that you know where they're at to me. A lot of times I see the datums in the wrong view. So if I see that arrowhead not touching the part, I know right away you're not in the right view. If I go to the front view right now, if I double click it and I'm in that view and I turn the frame on, you can see that red box is around the view. If you go to your annotation and you try and put a datum on over here, I'm telling you, when you go to modify it and move this stuff around, it doesn't like it because it thinks it's in the wrong view. So eventually, when you start moving your datums around and if they're not touching the part, it's because the right view is not active. When you're making it, it only worked for me because I was trying to demo what would go wrong, but that's your issue if you're having issues with your datums. ANSI ASME drawing. This is an ANSI drawing 2-place precision. In my general notes, I have to have the ANSI callout. If it's an ANSI callout, then I should have a title block or tolerance block. If it's an ASME callout, there's no tolerance block. The tolerance is in the general notes, and these are all 4-place dimensions. The revision block, if it's a brand new drawing, should have a dash. And then if you make any changes, you put a Rev A. And you date it with the initials or explanation, what you changed, and your initials, and then the checker's initials. The initial release doesn't need checkers initials because the checker is down here. All dates should be in here in the tree, and this rev block should match whatever it is up here in the revision block. That should match. So if I scroll back down to the title block, this matches, and also this is dash dash D for rev new. AD would represent a revision A, and this would be changed to an A, and up on top, a new A revision would be added. When it comes to the title block, I'm looking for all the appropriate names to be filled out. All the dates should be filled out. Your weight in pounds should be filled out. This should be a numeric value, and it should match whatever it says in the specification tree and up here in the top. This is nomenclature, no numbers, nomenclature, explanation of the part. This is a part with a hole in it. Plate with holes, what it's called. Dassault Systems is changed to whatever your company name is. When you're all said and done, this should be in the view frames off and fit all in, and saved just like this. After I've got it saved, I want you to go to print and create your PDF, which you should have already learned how to do. Just fit all in, 90 degrees, PDF. Select OK. So my drafting demo checklist is what I just created, and then what you do is you submit that to Canvas. If you want to add extra pictures to show your title block or revision block, you can, but I usually can zoom up on that if you do your PDF correctly. The only picture I want to add is with this blue axis down here at the bottom. So you got to make sure to do this edit sheet. And then when you make your print, I want you to do something like this and go to your Word doc, and in the last page go ahead and hit insert, screen, and I like to make my own shot. Oh, I just did a screen dump. Well, even at that, the screen dump works fine too. I can see the part number, I can see this tab, and I can see this blue axis down here. So that's the only picture I want you to add to this. Don't forget to put your name and the part number that you're doing on this part. All right, and that is your checklist for your drafting.